What we're going to be talking about right now is what is a flow state and how you can use it in your life. But before we talk about that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell, and we're going to talk about what is a flow state. We use this term flow state a lot in society, and we don't really understand a lot of the times what it means. Because when you're in a flow state, you're not thinking as much. You're extremely focused on what's right in front of you and your surroundings, and your mind almost turns off in a way. You're not going to be overthinking everything as much. You're not going to be worrying about the past or the future, and you're not going to be all up in your head. Usually you feel your body more when you're in a flow state. Usually when you're in the flow, you're almost carefree. It's almost opposite to resisting the moment. You're just in the flow of the moment. And every single person enters the flow in a much different way. Me personally, I enter the flow when I'm recording a video, when I'm meditating, that's a great one, when I'm beatboxing, when I'm talking to people, when I'm listening to music, when I'm at the gym, when I'm dancing. I get into a crazy flow state. And every single person enters a flow state in a different way. So for you, it might be completely different. It might be an entirely new way of getting into a flow state that other people don't do. It might be a completely different method. But meditation helps a lot with getting into a flow state, because when you learn how to turn off your mind and almost observe the mind, now you can use that skill and apply it to all the other passions and hobbies that you're doing. So entering a flow is all about being present to the moment. It's about being here right now. A lot of people don't really know that they're getting to the flow state, and they are in the flow state. Some people might be playing video games and they're in a crazy flow state and they don't even realize it. They kind of block out the world around them. They're so focused on the video game that they just block everything else out. And they don't really realize that they're doing that. And that's a flow state. It's when you're so focused on what you're doing that everything else becomes less of a problem. A lot of times your passion is going to be connected to that. So my friend Aaron, when he's doing magic, when he's working on his illusions, he enters a flow state. He's not thinking about anything. When I'm recording a beatbox video, when I'm beatboxing, when I'm in the moment with what I love doing, for some people it's drawing, my mind turns off. It's like I'm almost like redirecting my focus and energy to another place so much that it's impossible for me to be thinking, because overthinking requires a lot of focus and energy in your head. But when you're in a flow state, you get out of your head. You get into the flow. You stop thinking as much. And once again, your passion is a great way to do this. So when I'm beatboxing, zero thoughts. And the reason that happens is because it requires a large amount of focus. When you're focused on what you're doing, when you have high levels of extreme focus and concentration, you enter a flow state. That's why when you're meditating, you enter a flow state, because in meditation, what you learn is you learn how to become so focused on the present moment that you sort of disidentify with your thoughts. You sort of get into the moment. And this is a powerful, powerful skill that you can use, because when I started meditating 3 years ago and observing my thoughts rather than identifying with them, I would just simply watch them, realize that I don't really need to create an identity around a lot of these thoughts. That helped me get into a flow, because a lot of times my thoughts were stopping me from getting into a flow. I would believe in every single thought that I had playing in my head. I would believe in all these thoughts saying like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you're not confident, you can't talk to people, you're not an athletic person, so you shouldn't go to the gym. And all these thoughts were blocking me from getting to a flow state. Like, you're not a good beatbox performer. And these thoughts are simply not true a lot of the times. A lot of times these thoughts that we're telling ourselves are simply not true, and we don't necessarily have to listen to them. And when you stop listening to and believing in every single thought, and you simply observe them and go take action anyways, now you're in a much better position to get into the flow. So follow your passion, follow what you love doing, because when you follow your passion, as cliche as it sounds, you will get into a flow state. You will stop thinking. Just identify what you love to do, find out who you are as a person, and you will get into that flow state. You will feel it when you stop thinking about everything, when you start getting to the flow state. when you stop worrying about everything being so perfect all the time, when you let go of perfection and you just take action regardless of the outcome because you're just in alignment with the present and what you love, you will become much more in a flow state. Become much more in a flow state. I don't even know if that's English, but it doesn't matter because I'm in a flow state right now. And the imperfections of this video don't bother me because everything that I'm saying is a flow state. It's coming from a deeper part of me. So that's pretty much it, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Have yourself a great day. Done.